What's going on? We're live. We're live. Intro. Yo, what's going on, my dear friends? It's Mano here. You're watching the Study of Stuff after show, I suppose. Jabberfest, possibly, probably, maybe. Convo with the Mano. That was an interesting episode. We just all watched together. I'm out of breath because I was like running around trying to get stuff ready. Because I thought I'd have a few more minutes between the shows, but it turns out the way we set it up, we didn't. How's everybody doing? Did everybody enjoy that interview? I mean, how could you not? Father John and Father Turbo together. It was quite the show. Let's see who we have in the chats right now. We have Denise. Hola, my dear sister. Denise is in the house. We have Christina, of course. Hola, hello, welcome. Welcome, Mela. Mela just popped in. Tatiana, sister, what's going down? Girl Hex, hola. Hello, Joseph Beard. And if anyone else is out there and I haven't seen your name or whatever, Mr. Post, I see you. Punchy, welcome, Punchy. All right, first thing I'll say is if you were there and during the premiere and you watched that awesome episode, watch it again. If you caught half of it, watch it again. If you haven't watched it, watch it and then watch it again. Because honestly, I've watched it. I did the episode. I edited. I did a rough edit, so that's twice I watched the whole thing. Then I did another edit, so that's 3 times, and that was my 4th time. Between this episode and the episode we did with Cyprian that we dropped a couple days ago, which I would say is right up there. Those are 2 of my best interviews I've ever done, and not because of me, but because of my amazing guests and the conversation we had. So if you haven't watched the Cyprian episode, Manny will throw that into the chats if you don't mind, Manny, please do. And also the episode we just watched, just for anyone who hasn't watched those, or if you have, go watch them again. They're crazy important. A lot of information kind of crosses both of those interviews. Some key points were made by Cyprian, and some key points were made by Father John and Father Turbo. A lot of the stuff that we've been talking about for the last couple months on SOS Radio, our live streams, and in interviews, were really nailed there. Father John and Father Turbo really communicated what I've been trying to get across on some of the shows. It's not just me. A lot of people are doing it. I'm not saying it's about me. I'm just saying that's why I really wanted to have that conversation. Actually, before... Just a little bit of a behind the scenes note. That interview was supposed to be originally only about the 2 of them meeting, getting into to orthodoxy out of the punk scene in California, Orange County, and meeting. And so if Orthodox Boomer Grandma is here to answer her question, who was Sid, or for anyone's wondering who was Sid. In a minute, I'll look and I'll pull up that clip again or go back and watch it. So the way it happened was, so basically the whole episode was going to be about the tattoo parlor that you keep hearing both Father Turbo and Father John referencing in many of their interviews. I kind of, I guess, after having done that interview, I kind of jumbled and I thought Sid's was where they originally started their Bible study, and that was the case. But one of the Bible studies they kept referring to was a different tattoo parlor, the one that Father Turbo was working at, Goodfellas. So, anyways, who is Sid? Sid is a very famous tattoo artist who, very famous. Many people in the even in the punk world know who he is. Like, I don't have any tattoos, and I knew who Sid was before I started doing this stream. Like, I knew who Sid was years ago, just from like the punk world. Everyone would get their tattoos from Sid. You name most punk artists or metal artists, whatever, they've gone to Sid's. So had heard Father Turbo mention Sid many a times and Father John, so I just reached out to Sid and he was like blown away. Sid sounds like, even in the conversation I had with him, that he might be interested in Orthodoxy. Well, he is interested in Orthodoxy, but he might be going down that path. So that's pretty cool. There was a couple other things I wanted to mention before I start jabbering, whatever. If Christina sent a message, she might jump on. She has something to do after this. So if you're in the chats, Christina, because I can't see my phone, or throw the message in the phone, let me know when if you want me to get you on earlier than later, because I was going to do some jabbering and then do the convo with the Mano. But if you want to jump on, I can get you on real quick, because I know you have something else to do. A couple of things I wanted to touch upon. Number one, please hear me out on this, and I mean this seriously from the bottom of my heart. I do my best to not make it, make it about a community thing, as I've talked about many a times, and I've defined what I mean by community. So for those of you that don't know, go back and watch some of the episodes, but I'm not talking about, the point I'm trying to get at. I love the fact that I'm seeing, hearing, and people are telling me about a lot of people through the network, through our community, through our chat groups, through all of the stuff that we're doing here with Board No More and SOS, are all communicating. They're meeting up. They're having conversations privately. They're helping each other out. They're collaborating. They're supporting each other. I'm hearing everything from artists working with other artists, like more than a few. I'm hearing people doing day trips in Texas to meet someone else that they've met through the show, through the community, through the chats and all of that stuff. I'm hearing people having difficult times and a lot of pain and all of that stuff, reaching out and helping each other. I'm getting a lot of people messaging me on that. I mean, I went to Texas. I met a lot of the people, some of the people that we have in the chats all the time. Shout out to Germanus. Shout out to David Sims, Father Turbo, Father Paul, Father Justin from Texas, not Father Justin Matthews, making it clear which Father Justin I'm talking about, and many others that I've kind of met through this stuff. So honestly, it warms my heart. It's the whole point of this. It is what we're trying to do. Keeping connected, keeping together, supporting each other. And especially for what's coming, and I don't mean that in a black pilled sort of way at all. And if it does go that way, well, hey, we got something, you know what I mean? So, a lot happened this week. I mean, a lot happens every week. It seems like every week gets, there's more and more stuff. Gene Reeves, our dear and beloved friend, Gene Reeves, the Greek Mexican Texan. That's what I like to call him. We play his music all the time. He dropped a new track this week. Manny, if you don't mind, if it's easy for you to find it, can you throw that in the chats? Let's support our dear and wonderful friend, Gene Reeves. The Cyprian episode was dropped this week. Honestly, if you didn't check out that episode, man, go check that out and watch it a couple times. Let's see what else. Buck Johnson dropped a bomb this week. Shout outs to my man Buck Johnson. What can I say about Buck? That episode he did with his producer Chris Williams. I believe that was his name. I escapes me. I'm pretty sure that was his name. And Father John Peck. Amazing. Really, really important episode. Shout outs to my dear friend Buck. Like I mentioned, I think I've mentioned it 100 times on my show. Maybe I should put a clip together. I'm behind on clips. There's a lot of killer moments out there in the SOS universe. So just a little bit of side note. If you hear something that was like a pretty important thing in an episode we've done, whether it's a live stream or an interview or whatever. Let me know what the time codes are, or clip it out with whatever, and just let us know about it. I'm losing track of a lot of them, but the point I'm getting at is I got to make a video clip, a definite shout out, respect to my dear friend Buck Johnson, because I've mentioned it 100 times in my interviews, and I just mentioned it in the interview I did with Father John and Father Turbo. A big reason, not necessarily that I'm back, but like a way that kind of pushed me over the way I found out about Father John, the way I found out about Father Turbo, Death to the World and all that stuff. And that kind of all pieced it together because I kind of heard some of these pieces. I've heard some of them talking. I'd seen Death to the World, this and that. But through Buck's Counterflow podcast, I really started to piece things together, and it was a huge help in my journey. So big shout out to my dear and wonderful friend, Buck Johnson. Also, I don't remember the date. I think it's February 9th. We have to confirm it in the group, but we're probably doing a Board No More. Sorry, I have a lot on my mind. Board No More. We're doing the Board No More live stream. Probably November 9th. We've got Christina from Orthodox Family Life. She'll be on. We'll be talking about grandparents, the importance of grandparents. You guys know my story with my gramps. Probably going to be doing a clip of the moment Father Turbo kind of like pushed me off the cliff. In that first episode interview I did with him. What I mean by push me off the cliff, I was already kind of like looking at all this Orthodox stuff. I was coming back. I was like, take it. But he said some stuff about my grandfather, which you've heard me all repeat a million times. If you haven't, wait for the clip. That was definitely a milestone moment for me. Father Turbo connected some dots for me with my grandfather. My grandfather is a big reason why I'm kind of brought me back, gets me a little bit moved sometimes just thinking about it. And a little bit of a side note, I dropped that interview with Father Turbo October. Sorry, why do I keep saying that? Yeah, no, it was October. It was October 3rd of 2023. I went to Texas. I met Father Turbo for the first time October 1st, 2024. I met him like in person. So he's my spiritual father. Did my first real communion with him. My first real confession with him. Went to liturgy, all that stuff. And I left Texas October 3rd, the anniversary of that milestone moment where I did the interview with Father Turbo last year. So like that was a big deal. I don't know, you want to call that coincidence or whatever. God's providence. But honestly, yeah, I hadn't even realized that it was a year to the day until a couple days before we were leaving to go to Texas. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to put a clip out of that. Going back to the Board No More. See, I told you it was going to be a jabber all over the place. So the Board No More network series live stream we're going to be doing November 9th. Christina from Orthodox Family Life and I will be talking about the importance of grandparents, tradition, orthodoxy, all of that stuff. And I know a lot of people may not have grandparents like that, and that's an important lesson in itself. So we'll be talking with Christina about that. Probably going to have Mr. Westford on for another one of his amazing comedy things. We're working on some stuff with him. I'll probably do an SOS Ortho Radio, Orthodox only content. Those seem to do really well, actually. They get a lot of good views. I got to put those out there proper. We'll be doing that. Then we're going to have our dear friend Buck Johnson at the end. He'll be doing his version of the news. Yeah, I was thinking about like different shows to set up my friends with and like kind of curate some of them, kind of like, hey, why don't we try something like that? Right? I reach out to Buck. I'm like, would you want to do a show? Like, I don't remember what I called it. I have an interesting name for it. I wrote it down somewhere. I can't remember. It's like, I don't know, like Mr. Johnson Reports or something like that. I can't remember what it was. So he'll be doing something like that. So that'll be pretty cool. News or news, News, news. Manny, if I've missed any important comments that were flying by while I was jabbering, let me know what they are. Did Christina say she wants to jump on now or after? I'm not sure. I didn't see that. I want to be the news reader. Well, Riga, why don't you send me a message and we could figure something out. What do you think? My dear brother in Christ, Germanus is here. Germanus, we were just talking about you a bit. So much so that I didn't even notice what Manny threw up on the screen. Manny, can you throw that up on the screen again? I'm sorry. No audition tapes needed, Riga. We work with what we got. Take your time. I have an interview in an hour from now. Awesome. Okay, so what else? Am I missing anything, Manny? Are you there? Or you're not on air? Oh, okay. Is there anything that I should mention that I forgot? Oh, yes. So the zine. We're gonna get ready to start taking more submissions for volume 2. I'm also looking to probably put out a physical version, a physical copy of the zine. So that'll be like the first volume. We're gonna put that out physically. We're gonna probably add to it a bit. So if anybody has any art, poems, an article they want to write, an opinion piece, even 2 sentences like of something, just anything, quotes, art. What did I say? I already think I already. What did I say? What do we got? We got poetry, art, articles, an opinion piece, really anything, recipes, whether they're like for Easter or whatever, or for fasting or jiggy jags, whatever. All kinds of stuff. Even if it's something I can't even think of, just send it. Manny threw up the submission email. Boom, right here. See, like that's the background music. Send it there. We already have a bunch of submissions. We're gonna try to take this one up on next level. We're working on a lot of stuff. Way too many things. Too many things. If Manny had his camera, he doesn't, but it's okay. I show you the board that we have on the wall where we're just smashing everything that we have to do. Texas is still calling. Looks like things are, moving in that direction. Nothing's been solidified or concrete yet. But we're preparing to put together some stuff about that. Could happen. I don't know. So just know that any support that we get, any love, anything that we get, it's all going into that project, the Texas-Mexico project. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we've talked about it a couple times. We did an episode when we got back from Texas called Texas Calling. We kind of go over a lot of stuff there. But basically, if you like the community that many people have referred to in this episode right now, as I'm talking earlier, we were talking about this community coming together and how many of you guys are all connecting privately, from collaborating to supporting each other, to meeting up with each other, and all of that stuff. If you like that, we're going to be doing that physically in Texas. Vladika Dimitri of Dallas, asking for his support and help in this, and if God wills it, we will build it. So far it's going well. When we do Convo, if anyone wants me to answer any questions, by the way, feel free to throw them in the chats. Manny will make note of them, and I can answer them. If I don't know if anyone wants me to jabber about that or whatever, please let me know, and I will do my best to answer all of your questions. And I will do my best. I will answer your questions. We have a lot going on. Trying to piece together the record label sort of thing too at the same time. We are in need of a bit of help. We have a lot of people in the community helping us, like wanting to help us and asking. We have so much going on. I don't even know where to begin. Like Daniel's helping us with some graphic design. Germanus is helping us. Dave Sims is helping us. Riga, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. A lot of people are reaching out, helping us. So we're trying to build this thing for everybody. And just so everybody knows, I always have to say this. I have to. I want to. I need to. We don't believe in just taking things from people, even though people are doing it from like the goodness of their hearts. I always believe that it has to be a system of meritocracy, and people will be compensated in some way as we go along, as we build this thing. I don't believe in just doing things for free. Oh yeah. What did I miss? Who's laughing? Why are you laughing?
When Riga gifted a membership
Yeah.
and it gifted to Riga.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's it. That's how it goes. Sorry, Manny explained it to me. He's not on air, so you guys don't know what he said. But I know what he said because I can hear him with these ears. These ears. Capitan Pollo. Boom. Look at that dude. Look at that guy. I don't even know where to go from here. Oh, wow. Look at that. It's rolling on the other camera. My name is Mano, and you're watching SOS, Study of Stuff podcast, where we re-engineer their social engineering. That is what we do here. That is what we're attempting to do here. Because as we know, the Great Deceiver has a lot of people helping to confuse, to divide. The devil. The word devil derives from a Greek word to divide. And that is exactly what he's doing. He's trying to do that. Not always successful. Sometimes is. So the conversation I had with Father John and Father Turbo was about some of that division. And it's weird. It's weird. We live in a strange time. I'm sure you've heard this before, but I have to repeat it. I just have to. I've been thinking a lot about it recently. It seems like it goes in waves, what I'm about to say, where like we're always constantly being forced to admit a lie while internally you know it's a lie. Like, you know absolutely it's a lie. Example would be, individuals who, I have to be careful with my words here because we are on the YouTubes. The people that are Skittle-like, but the ones that like to hack off body parts. You know what I'm talking about? And then we have to like, admit when we know it's a dude that it, but of course it's not a dude, it's a this, right? So like that's a lie. If you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Internally, even those individuals that are saying these things, like they know internally, like their subconscious knows, like, yeah, dude, it's a dude. Like, doesn't matter what you do, what you cut off, what you sew on or whatever, it's a dude, right? There's no way that your subconscious doesn't know that, right? So that's one of the lies. And another one that like, thank you so much. I'm confused. Is that the same one? But thank you, Riga, so very much. Thank you for your love and support. Where I'm going with that, with the division stuff, where I'm going with the fact that we're constantly being told to lie about stuff that we know is not true, and then kind of feel like you can't be honest about something, just like I just described, or like this. Like, forget about what your politics are. Forget if you're left or you're right, you're Republican, you're Democrat, you're whatever. In Canada, we have the same thing. It's funny that our colors are opposite. Our liberals are red and our conservatives are blue. Yours are the opposite. Doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't matter. You know what? One of the lies that's bugging me is this whole, like, we live in 2024. We have technology like crazy coming out of our jing-jangs. You know what I mean? Like, we can build these AI things. We can build these, all this stuff, just stuff. But you have to wait how long to get your election results? Isn't that weird? Like, we could do all this crazy stuff, but we can't tally votes. That doesn't seem like a complicated thing to pull off. Manny has been teaching me stuff about programming and all this stuff, not like how to program, but just like the thought of it. I'm like, we're well past the fact that we should be able to, hold on, leave that up there, Manny. We're well past the point where we need to kind of figure out how to tally up votes. That seems like an arcane technology. Like, we haven't had a problem, but all of a sudden it's a problem. And this doesn't matter if you're left, you're right, you want to vote for that person or that person. What doesn't matter. You should all be pissed about that. You should all be like, what? Really? Like, it doesn't matter if you're blue, red, or jingy jangs, whatever. It's like, it's weird. It's one of those things that you have to, like, another like example is like the people that chop things off, and then you have to like lie and say, yeah, that's a so and so. But meanwhile, I don't know. I hope you guys understand like coding I'm being careful with my words to some degree. Tatiana says, okay, let me finish the question. But do you all ever notice a similar theme going on in our lives in regards to scripture, podcasts, lectures, etc.? And it's like God is trying to tell us something. Yeah. Yes. There's a lot, like, I'm not exactly sure how you mean that, but that's kind of what I've mentioned in the past on I want to know more of what you mean by that, because there's a lot behind that statement. And I've made a couple of references to it, and I've gotten some messages where people didn't really understand what I meant by how we're being, again, back to the deceiver, back to the illusion, back to the lying, back to like the trickery. All of it kind of fits together, whether it's the what I mentioned about the voting machines, or what I mentioned about people chopping their stuff off and you have to lie about what it is, or like, all of that weird stuff. People aren't even noticing, especially people that have studied social engineering and culture creation and should know better. I mean, there are many in our community who know, like, who do get it, like who I don't mean them, but just generally speaking, some people that are regurgitating some of this stuff, whether it's about politics or whatever, and they're in the online Orthodox thing. I mentioned it in the past, where if you go and you look at some people that may disagree with you on whatever it is, even if it's like I went to go check out some of the people that debated with Sam Shamoon and Jay Dyer, that were on the opposite side, if you know what I'm talking about, in that Fresh and Fit debate. And they're using the same terminology that we use. I've gone to like hardcore leftists, and they're using the same kind of terminology. You know that the example I gave in the beginning with the people that were debating with Jay Dyer and Sam Shamoon, that Pikachu guy, and they're using soy boy. They're calling us soy boys. They're using words like Chad. They're using things like all these terms you keep hearing, cope and all this stuff. And it made me think, like, everybody's using these same words, and they're using the same arguments from all standpoints. So if you go watch a leftist's podcast stream, they're saying the same stuff. So back to the Orthodox thing, it's like a lot of these people aren't noticing these things that they were warning about, like early in 2020, 2021, and then now they kind of forgot a lot. I have to kind of speak in code, and I apologize because I don't want to create more division either. That's another thing. My point is that whatever it is that we're doing here, whether you're watching these streams, Newspeak 1984. Yeah, exactly, Boomer Grandma. Exactly. Keep in mind, what is Techno Noir saying there? Keep in mind, Orthodoxy for the first time in history was brought to the mainstream. Lots of grifters out there. And they can't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about this. This is what I'm Tech. Right here, what he's saying right here. This is exactly what I'm hinting at, and what I've hinted at on more than a couple of streams. And it's not a criticism. It's what Father Turbo, Father John, and I were talking about. It's what Cyprian and I were talking about in the interview. It's a lot of the conversations I've had privately and this and that, and why I keep repeating this over and over again. Like I said, there are many people on the online Orthodox sphere that when I speak to them privately are not only the same people that you see on camera, they're even more so. Like, they're so legit. They're like so legit. And they mean what they say what they mean. And then there's others that don't. And I'm like, do people publicly know what you just said? Because if they did, you'd lose half of your fan base. Like, I could tell you now for sure, like, I could think of a few people, not just podcasters, that if people knew what they were saying, and I won't go saying it because I'm not that type of person. I don't do that. And if people knew what some of their, I'm like, you would lose like your entire fan base, like some weird ecumenist stuff. Like it's weird. So going back to Tech's comment there, yeah, all of a sudden you have Orthodoxy. No one knows what it is. Very few people. It's kind of percolating. Even before the COVID era, and then it starts to kind of peak, and of course you start getting I just so want to swear right now. You start getting like these malachias where like people are like saying some weird stuff, possible grifters, and if they're not grifters outright, they're being nudged in that direction. You don't necessarily have to be a full-on grifter, like someone's paying you to say something or do something, but it could even just be a nudge. Right? It could be just a simple nudge. Like, if you look at the comments, like, Tech, right here, what he's saying right here, this is exactly what I'm hinting at. And what I've hinted at on more than a couple of streams. And it's not a criticism. It's what Father Turbo, Father John, and I were talking about in the interview. It's a lot of the conversations I've had privately and this and that. And why I keep repeating this over and over again, like I said, there are many podcasts, like people on the online Orthodox like you might start to make more tips or whatever if you behave in a certain manner. If you talk about certain issues, if you present things in a particular way, it becomes like a version of like how corn can become addictive, and you get excited when you see it and you want to kind of get more of that. And then as a content creator, you start noticing that when you put that kind of content out there where it's like argumentative or this and that, and then you start noticing you get more and more tips and this and that, that nudges you to continue making that kind of stuff, right? And then it's back to what we were talking about with Father John and Father Turbo. Praxis, what are you doing with like the stuff that you're like the information you're gathering online? Why are you making this content? What is your reasoning? Is it because you're riding the bandwagon of like are you riding this thing where now all of a sudden it's kind of cool to do this stuff or talk about this, or it's a built-in audience, it's a built-in community? To be quite honest with you, there's a couple of times where like I had to not put something out, which I knew would have blown us up for sure. For sure. I could think of 3 things that were like, I meant what I said. If it was put out there as clips, it would have exploded and gone viral for sure. For sure. I guarantee it. And it would have helped our channel out a lot. We would have gotten so many tips for sure. 100%. And I'm like, no, don't do it. It's like someone had even made the clip for me. I didn't even have to do the work, which never happens. I'm always making the clips. And this person clipped something out that I said, and it had heat behind it. And I was like, wow, this is going to blow up. And that person's like, dude, this is going to blow up. Everyone, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, let's not do it, because that's not what I want to do. I'm not trying to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. And it's not because I'm a good guy or virtuous or any of that. It's not that. It's like, this to me is not a band shirt. Like I said over there, I don't know where my life is going or what this is. I don't even know what's happening to me. It's like, I don't even know what's going on, but something's going on and I'm not going to mess it up. Like I'm not in this for like those reasons. I am in this for the community that's being built. I am in for that. I am in this for Texas and the Mexico thing. I'm totally in for that, but none of that is about me. It's not about that. And I don't want to. So the point I'm trying to get at is like, why are you putting this content out? What are you saying? Why are you saying that? You know what I mean? Like, we had an idea for a debate channel. I wish Manny was on for this one, but it's okay. I'm not. We had a brilliant idea for a debate show. Brilliant. Like right before debate channels really blew up. Like I'm talking about a year ago, whatever. Like such a brilliant idea. Like no one's actually doing this idea we had. And then we shut it down because we're like, I don't want to. Again, I'm not criticizing people that debate. Oh man, if you want to send Christina the link in about 10 minutes. Not right now. It's about 10 minutes. We had this brilliant idea for a debate thing, and I guarantee you it would have blown up. And again, I don't think apologetics and debating is wrong. It has its place. It's helped me. There's certain people that are amazing at it. There's certain people that they should be doing that. They are bringing people to the faith. They are asking the right questions. They are making people question themselves. I'm not saying all of it's wrong. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is there's a lot more people that shouldn't be doing it, that are doing it for the wrong reasons, that are trying to get clout. They are trying to do all this stuff. Like quite a few. And I know it for sure. Some people I don't know, but some people I know 100%. That's what they're doing. And back to what Tech was saying, Tech Noir, and I'm trying to say, and Father Turbo was saying, and Father John was saying, all this, like, why are you doing this? Like, this is where like it can become a grift, whether you are personally taking money because you're like that, or because you're being nudged in that direction. It could be a simple nudge as like the great deceiver is helping separate people. Like, think about that. Like, I have a particular situation that's occurring behind the scenes in mind, and I don't want to give it too much heat or any, like, I don't even want to, like, say it because I don't want that, I don't even want that to become a thing. But I think you guys get what I'm saying. I don't want to just beat a dead horse. Let's understand what Father Turbo and Father John were saying. Again, go back and watch that episode. And especially if you're reading in between the lines, because there was a lot of in between the lines things that we were all saying. So please go back and watch that again. please just go do it for yourself, not for me. Just do it for everybody that's online. Oh, thank you so much. Wow. In real life, you can see how people carry themselves, see their fruits. Yes, online, you can only see what's curated. And you got the physical involvement in the parish. Exactly. That's why we called it Get in the Pit, Visit a Parish. And you're 100% correct to say that, because that is so true. And that's what I meant by conversations I have in private with some people that are out there, whatever. You could tell in a conversation, like online, like I don't even have, like, it's exactly this. You don't know how they carry themselves, but I can tell you that we are blessed, that we have a lot of people that are legit. Let me start with that. Let me just start with that one. We're blessed. Father Turbo, Father John, legit. Like, we are absolutely blessed to have people like priests like that around. Cyprian, 100%. Buck Johnson. I don't want to go through the list, but I'm telling you, so we do have that. And then on the flip side, you have other situations that are not exactly like that. And this, again, I hope this doesn't sound like I'm trying to stir things up. That is absolutely the opposite of what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Manuel, you've been carefully curated by Rick Rubin. I got shoes on though, bro. I got shoes on, dude. I got shoes on. Totally shoes on. Yeah, Rick Rubin's an interesting cat. We should do an SOS radio on that. By the way, we're taking a bit of a break on SOS radio. Probably come back next week. Where was I? Yeah, you could send that to Christina, because I know Christina has something to do after. Is Christina in the chat? If she is, let me know, or let me know what she's saying. I had a few other things I wanted to mention. Anyways, yeah, the debate channel thing. We had a couple of those kinds of ideas that I know would have caused bank. Another thing is again, I'm not criticizing people out there that are making a buck. This stuff isn't easy to do, and people got to make a living and all that stuff. So I totally dig it. I get it. But like, one of the reasons why I try to read everybody's comments and kind of communicate with everybody, even whether they super chat or they don't, whatever, because I want to keep the community building. I want it to keep going, because to me that is the most important thing right now, for a number of reasons. I keep promoting Texas, like the community in Texas, not just the project we're working on. And yes, I'm also doing it because I'm excited about it. It's on my mind all the time. It's what I'm working on. Myself, Manny, Dave Sims, Germanis, and a few others. I really want this to work out. But one thing that we saw when we went to visit Texas, at St. Maximus the Confessor in Denton, Texas, man, that was real community. That is real community. Germanis is in the chat, I think. And yeah, he is. And like, what you guys got there, brother, you guys are blessed, man. That is exactly, let me tell you what I liked about that community. It was real. It was real. I'm saying in the experience, it's still there. It's real. What I mean by that is, like, there's no pretending. There's no BS. Nobody's hiding their warts. It's all out there. Everybody's completely honest and raw with each other, and everybody kind of like intermixes with each other. They laugh together. They cry together. They hang out together. Like, you go there for Bible study on a Tuesday evening. The place is packed. It's a small little place, but it's jammed, packed. And they kept telling me it's empty. Because, like, you know what? I'm like, what are you talking about? This is amazing, right? Like, oh, you should see this on a Sunday. Because we weren't even there on a Sunday. We were like there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, left on Thursday. We were there Thursday too. Before we left, we went to church every day. And every day, day and night, when we were there was people there. Everybody knew each other. You know what I mean? And like, there was no pretension. There was no lies. There was no whatever. You could see people had issues in their families. You could just openly see it. Like, everybody was putting it out there. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was great. Kids everywhere, like running around, hanging out. You know what I mean? Manny had to leave because they said for all the catechumens to leave. So he had to, leave the liturgia because for the catechumen, you know what I'm talking about. So he goes there and he's like, I come out, this guy's hanging with people, like just like whatever. Like it was like that. Like I'm just literally going to get coffee. I made like, people are just talking. It was beautiful. It was legit. It was real. It was awesome. And I really believe, I know for me, like I'll just speak for myself. I want that all the time. Chilling with Father Paul, Manny says, and his teeth. Father Paul is Father Turbo's spiritual father, and we talked about it in the stream. And he's getting up there in age, He's like he's pretty cool. I like him. I love him. He's awesome. And he doesn't hide anything. He just takes his teeth out, puts them in like a little container with water, and bam, it's right there on the table. It's so cool. He's so cool. I already told the story when I was in when we did the Texas call-in episode, which you should check out. It's a pretty good episode. I like that one. I went up. I'm introducing myself. I told Father Paul, like, excited to meet him and all that stuff. And I told him, he confused me with Manny. It's a long story. Go check out the episode. And I'm Father Turbo's spiritual son. And he's like, I'm your spiritual grandfather. The way he said it was like so cute. He's so awesome. David Sims, what's up, my man? Look at this guy. What's going on, dude? We were just talking about Tatiana. Is your friend close to Riverside? CA? Oh, I don't know. I pushed the wrong button. This is what it. David Sims. I shouldn't be the one pushing the buttons, man. He should be. What's up, brother? We were just talking about you. We were just talking about you, Dave. We were talking about you, Germanus. We were talking about St. Maximus. We were talking about Dallas. We were talking Denton. We're talking about all that stuff. He just popped in. So for those of you guys that are wondering, Germanus and Dave Sims, both in the chat, so both the two people I keep referring to when I talk about Texas, when I talked about Texas calling in that live stream. Total brothers in Christ, legitimate, real deal human beings. Another reason why I really want to promote this idea of the community we're trying to build and put together is because I see it in action. I'm seeing it in real time. It's not just an illusion of the mind. It's not just. It's kind of like we were talking about with Father Turbo and Father John. Actually, I think we talked about that off air. The importance of making it a real practical thing. I mean, we did touch upon it in the interview that we just watched, but we went into a lot of detail on it. Like, you got to go. That's what we always were talking about from the beginning. You got to go from the digital community to the analog community. And when I went to Texas with Manny, we saw the power of what this could be. These people were family from the first second. Like, it was like instantly. I meet both Germanus and Dave, and like, bam, these are like my brothers in Christ, 100%. And then, like I said earlier, I'm going to say it again. If you're sick of me hearing it, you get even more sick of me hearing it, because I think it's super important. How many of you guys I'm hearing behind the scenes are meeting up to hang out, taking day trips to go meet this other person that you met through the network? Artists collaborating with each other, from musicians to art, to digital art, both, all of it intertwined. People supporting each other who are going through really, 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 really tough times. You know what I'm saying? Big, like, I didn't see one of my friends. I wanted to ask for prayers for him and his family. I didn't see his response. I'll check in a minute. But a lot of us praying for each other. Tatiana's trying to quit smoking. You know what I'm saying? And we're reaching out. I had something on my mind. I reached out to Christina yesterday from Orthodox Family Life, who'll be on in just a second. And she gave me some great advice. Orthodox Boomer Grandma. I'm late. I've been trying to get a call with Orthodox Boomer Grandma, who reached out to me about it, and I've been so busy. So I'm so sorry, Orthodox Boomer Grandma, but this week's gonna be all phone calls. Mark from Light of Tabor going out to meet Orthodox Boomer Grandma. These things are important. These things are why we're doing this, or should be. This is what we're trying to build. Okay, and I can't stress it enough. It's like it's pretty moving. Like when I see this thing where people are like, "Yo, I'm meeting up with so and so," I'm like, "What?" And I'm not talking about like one or two people. I'm like, I don't want to tell people's business. I'm talking about. I think the last count I did 20, like 20 people. Like, and I think it's higher than that. I don't want to say that. Priests, setting up people with priests to have them talk to. Father Christopher Foley from Luxury has been a huge help with in there. Father Turbo, Father John Valadez. A few people reached out. I suck when people, if I owe you a phone call or a message, please feel free to message me and tell me, hey, dude, we were supposed to call. I don't do that on purpose. I have way too many things going on, way too many things. But the important part of what I'm trying to get at is these connections are happening. They're occurring. It's a must. If you believe, Father Saint Paisios, Elder Ephraim, if you Saint Porphyrios, I always want to say them in Greek. Father Seraphim Rose. If you believe in any of these quote unquote predictions or advice that they give for the future, I'll leave it at that. Whatever. If you believe in those things, well, this is why we got to build what we got to build. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm gonna wait for Christina to give me the thumbs up whenever she's ready. She's ready. I'm going to bring in Christina. And then if anybody else wants to jump on for a convo with the Mano, let us know in the chats, and we'll see where we can get you guys on. Hello, Christina. How are you?
Hey, Mano, doing well. It was an incredible interview with Father John and Father Turbo. Yeah, really nicely done.
Thank you. It was
Yeah.
it was all them. Glory to God. I mean that. I know a lot of us just say that, but I could truly, it was something was happening there for sure. It had nothing to do with me. It was those two. They're just great.
Yeah. Well, I feel bad interrupting your flow here, but I'll just piggyback on what you were just talking about. Just so everyone out there knows, Mano is helping a lot of content creators, myself included, in my very interesting last 2 weeks of fumbles with different interviews multiple times, mics being off and forgetting to hit record, and just giving a lot of good advice and encouragement. So when you're helping him, you're actually helping a whole family of people, and just like he gets people reaching out to him, I think each one of us content creators are getting people reaching out about different things. So it's a pretty incredible community, and it's been really great to find you guys and to be a part of it. So it's different for me because I come from an actual physical community and been in 2 different kind of intentional Orthodox communities. And so it's very new to me to come to a space where people don't have that. It reminds me of being young and those first couple years when I converted, how difficult that was. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the advice I was referring to was right there, because I was like wondering, like, I don't know how people take their Sunday evening SOS radio and this and that, and you pointed out that Sundays are hard for some people, depending on where they're at with their families, or if they're isolated in their communities, and it is the day of the Lord, and it's kind of a good place to be. I guess SOS radio is that kind of thing. So thank you for that advice.
Sure. I was a 17-year-old assistant manager at a Checkers or Rallies. We have Checkers in Florida. So I'd go home to a pretty depressing life, and after church on Sunday. So I I love SOS now, but I really would have loved it back then. So.
Yeah, it's for us too. I realized we do the show, but for us it is kind of like Sundays we can't get to church and all that stuff because we don't have it around us. So this is like a way to kind of remind us why we're doing this on a Sunday, and that it's kind of an important day, because also not that I'm changing the subject, but I think it's a kind of an important fact, I guess, statistical fact. Sunday is actually one of the highest days for people to participate in the devil's iconography, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if people know that Sunday is the highest day for people consuming the devil's iconography. If you don't know what I'm referring to Father Seraphim Rose referring to corn as the devil's iconography. So Sunday is the day when the great deceiver tries to tempt you the most.
Yeah, I actually thought you were about to say when people unalive themselves, because we're kind of going into the season of that right now. And that's
Mm-hmm,
been
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
really heavily on my mind. I know someone in our community just lost somebody,
mm-hmm,
been
mm-hmm.
thinking about them and their family. We've certainly lost people that we know to that. And I know I've shared with you before that this Thanksgiving is 30 years from my own low point, um, and a lot of people go through this from now until the new year. Looking at their lives, rethinking their lives, and some people just have no hope. So I think it's really important that we're cognizant of that and try to share, stories of hope and healing that I think anyone who's in the church can tell you about.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There is an opportunity to have healing, and we just need to, I think, really share that as much as possible right now for a variety of reasons. Maybe this year more than ever, but it's always an issue right this time of year.
I think you're right on this year more than ever. And yeah, that statistic that you referred to, the unaliving, that all fits in with everything else. Like most horrible acts occur on a Sunday, and most
Mhm.
beautiful acts occur on a Sunday.
Yeah. That
It's
really
almost
shows the spiritual battle, huh?
exactly.
Yeah.
It really does. And I this year, well, obviously because it's the first year that I've been this far. Like this is the longest I've been away from my daughter. I feel a lot of those things that you're referring to that I've heard about them. I thought I understood them, but I didn't really understand them. Like and now this year I'm kind of like, oh, okay, that's what people are talking about. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting time for sure.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to, and again, I really hate to interrupt your flow because
No,
it was
no.
really going well, and but I'll pivot a little bit. I wanted to talk about something I saw on our friend Mr. Westford's show, which was a really
Mm-hmm,
great conversation with John. I think you
mm-hmm,
all know John probably, and
mm-hmm.
really great guy. I really enjoy listening to him and his dad.
Yeah.
And I think that if for those of you that don't know John, he's a Protestant, and he and Wes are friends, and they have a good time together. But sometimes the conversation turns serious, and John has a lot of questions. And I think Mr. Westford did a really good job at um, answering those questions. But there was one thing that came up, which was the church being the place where Scripture is correctly interpreted.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear different arguments about that, trying to convince people, and stuff. But I guess my take on this was we can just show people. Let's just show people today
Mm-hmm.
one of the interpretations of the church that I really love of the Bible and how it differs from a Protestant interpretation, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go
So,
ahead.
so I think sent you guys over on IG. I sent you an icon of the Good Samaritan.
Yes, I'll send it to Manny. Did you send it to Manny as well so he could throw it up?
I know. I'm sorry. I should have done
No, it's okay.
that.
I'll do it right now. I'll do it. Keep going. Keep going. I got it.
So, everyone knows the story of the Good Samaritan. A man went down from Jericho. He fell among thieves who beat him and stripped him, and he lay on the ground dying. Two different men passed by. One's a Levite. One's I'm blanking on the other one. Two different Jewish priests, right? Pass by and don't help. And finally, a Samaritan comes along, and a Samaritan is someone who was half Jewish and half pagan, so they were really hated by the Jews, right? The Samaritan comes along, puts the man, cleans his wounds, puts the man on his own donkey, and then takes him to the inn and pays the innkeeper to care for him until he returns. So this is an icon that we actually have at the monastery here in our trapeza. This isn't from the monastery, but it's identical. And so I just wanted to walk you through this icon and show you how differently the story is, because in the common American understanding, the message is really that we should all be good Samaritans and go out and help people. And there's certainly some truth in that. But starting on the left side with that building is Jerusalem. And so a man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. What this signifies, according to the church, is that he leaves the holy place and he goes to a place of sin, of Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
And there the man falls among thieves. And as you can see, he's being beaten. And these, of course, are the demons, the passions. The man is stripped of everything he has, right? They rob him. And there he is laying on the ground. Now, if you were able to see this icon up closely, you'd actually realize that there's a name for this man. It's Adam. So this is the story of Adam, but it's the story of every one of us.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not actually the Good Samaritan in the story, which I think you can see already. We're the person that left Jerusalem and were stripped naked and beaten and everything taken away. And so up above that mountain, sort of in the center, you can see, I believe that's Moses and John the Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the two that passed by. And they often this story, people say, well, they were, too busy to stop and help. But the church actually says they wanted to help, but they couldn't. They didn't have it within themselves to fix the situation, right? So this stands for the law, which is Moses,
Mm-hmm.
and the prophets, which is John the Baptist being the fulfillment, of the prophets.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, totally. I'm just,
Okay.
I'm into what you're saying. Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead. This is great.
So finally comes our Lord, who comes after the law and the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes the man who's now grown
I
old.
see.
You can see he goes from
Yeah,
being a young man to an old man.
Uh-huh.
He takes the old man and he puts on his wounds wine and oil. And so this, of course, is Holy Communion and baptism and chrismation in the oil. And he begins to heal him. And then it says that the Good Samaritan puts him on his own animal. But if you look at the icon, here's the church's interpretation. He carries him himself. He is the animal that carries us to the end.
Okay.
And so he's put at the end. The man on the far right is the innkeeper.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
He
Oh,
is
that's what he's giving him the money.
Yeah, he is he's a symbol of the church, the priests and the bishops, who Christ is giving this battered man in the care of.
Okay.
And he gives him 2 coins. And forgive me, I forget what the coins are. I believe it's the Gospels and something else, but I'm blanking on that. So forgive me. But Christ gives this battered man to the church and says, take care of him until I return.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so this really beautiful image that the church gives us, I think you can see gives such a deeper, incredibly deep, understanding of this parable. And this is what the church, when we say the church interprets scripture correctly, this is really what we're talking about. There's nothing wrong with saying that we should be the Good Samaritan, but I think you can see that this is such a much deeper understanding of this, right? Even in the simple words, there was a man who went from Jerusalem down into Jericho. Even that is so instructive for us, right? That we start in the holy place and we choose to leave, right? He didn't get kicked out of Jerusalem, but he chose to leave and to go down, right? So every little step of this, beautiful interpretation is so full of instruction for us. And then we can kind of humble ourselves because we often think we're the ones helping people, but really it's Christ who helps us.
Wow, I really love that breakdown. Oh, that is awesome. You need to do this all the time. You need to, whenever you feel inspired to do this, please. So I just wanted to say that first before we get into what you were just saying. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, this is just the church's teaching, which I find really beautiful. And, I learned a lot of this through Dr. Jeannie Constantinou, which for some reason people give her a hard time, but I love Dr. Jeannie. I've probably listened to 100 hours of her teachings, very detailed, where she pulls out the fathers, St. John Chrysostom, St. Basil the Great. And there's just volumes and volumes of commentary on the Holy Gospels and the entire Bible. And so it just takes a little bit of digging. So I think if we can learn a little bit of this, and then when we go to tell people, like our friend John, right, that the church has the correct interpretation, well, let's show them. This is what this parable means.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's something that we can all, I think we can all relate with this in our own different ways. For me, the way I even see leaving Jerusalem is I was born Greek Orthodox. I know that's not what is meant, but I can relate on that level. I left just to come back to the physician. And it's really, really great. Oh, wow. Now, even after you said that, I'm seeing so many more things in there that I have questions about.
Well, it applies to all of us, right? We all leave Jerusalem in a different way, whether it's, mentally or physically. Like we
Mm-hmm.
all do it. That's what's amazing about the Gospels is that they apply to all of us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's why they're so deep. They're so simple, but they're so incredibly deep and full of meaning. It's kind of like everything the Lord tells us is very simple, but it's incredibly deep and beautiful. And so I think we should maybe just learn it for our own sakes and our family's sake, but also learn to share this beauty with people. That to
Absolutely.
me, that icon and that interpretation, again, which isn't mine, it's the church's,
Mm-hmm.
like that moves people. And just telling people that the church is right about things, it's true, but I think we should just practice showing it.
Absolutely. No, that's key. That's key because part of the part of praxis in general, like just kind of understanding these things about yourself, your life, and how it's viewed through the church. So you're not left to your own devices of kind of like making your own fantasies, but it's also important to show others so that they could see the beauty of what you just said.
Mhm.
And yes, I know it's the church saying it, but you do have you're very good at explaining it to people as well. That's what I meant more. I know it's like the church's
Well,
interpretation, but there, we have to also acknowledge that some people are meant to explain things, and you're really good at it. And
well, I
I
think it's
agree with
because
you.
I love it, honestly. I mean, to me,
Yes,
this is so beautiful. And that,
yes,
when I was 17, I think I've mentioned before that when I came out of the world and found Orthodoxy, literally left everything. I left Florida with 2 suitcases, was
hmm hmm
baptized, left, started a new life. But this image of Adam grown old,
mm,
I felt so incredibly old
mm,
at 17, living
hmm
a sinful life far away from God. And I think it doesn't mean that we have literally grown old, but our sin makes us feel that way. The
yes,
sin that we engage in willingly, we feel old and used up, and there's nothing we can do, right? Christ is doing everything in this icon.
absolutely, absolutely.
So
And even when you think you kind of got it all figured out and you're on the right path, you fall, and
we
I know,
fall. Yeah.
and it was Father Turbo. He mentioned it also in the video, but he said it to me personally. It was like, yeah, just expect yourself to do it again. You know what I mean? And you're
Mhm.
like, that's a hard thing to hear. It's true. It's true. Like
Yeah.
but and just don't beat yourself up over it and kind of just move on because Christ is there. Uh,
Mhm.
with that intention and purpose in mind and the love to do that, to heal you, to get you through those troubled times. And I think it's a very important icon. This is great. Definitely gonna post this.
Yeah.
This is really good
Yeah.
because the more I look at it, the more I see what you're talking about, as well
Mhm.
as other things in the background that ties it all together. So
Yeah. I
here's
mean,
the three peaks too. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. For people that don't know, the Lord is usually in blue and red
Mm-hmm.
to signify his both divine nature, which is the blue for heaven, and the red for the blood,
Mm-hmm.
for his human nature. So there's just a ton of, once you learn a little bit of the meaning behind icons, you can sort of read them in that way and get a better understanding.
Yes, like red is
Anyway, that's
royalty, right?
yeah,
And
probably
then
like the purple royalty.
what's sorry, the purple, yeah, because it's like the Roman colors as well and the Byzantine colors. What was the reasoning for blue for the Theotokos?
Well, she is it's the same, right? Because
Hmm.
but the colors are reversed. So if you look at
Right.
her
Oh,
garments,
right.
I believe they're blue underneath, right? And red
Right.
on
Right.
top
Right. Yes.
because
Yes.
she
Yes.
held heaven within herself. So heaven is wrapped in
Yeah.
earth, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No. No. You're right. She's definitely red on the
Mhm.
prominent on the outside.
Yeah.
And then this one. Wow. Okay. Cool. Cool. You know what? I should do an episode on this.
And you can do that little, the little things coming off Christ halo. All this has meaning. The word, the letters in there, the Greek, Alpha and Omega. He's the beginning and the
Yes.
end, the one who is.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's why the church gives us these wonderful icons. So, forgive me, I
Awesome.
didn't want to interrupt your string, but I just, I heard John and Mr. Westford having a great conversation. But that would be my only kind of advice.
No, I love it. I've had a conversation with John on our show
Mhm.
on Convo with the Mano, and his father Paul popped on, and I adore them both. I think they're just
Yeah.
wonderful human beings. so open and true love for
Mhm.
Christ. So big shout out to John and his dad, Paul. Awesome.
Yeah, I
Awesome
agree.
human beings. Like, yeah, you could just feel they radiate a love for Christ.
Hmm.
And there's something we were talking about even today with Manny. It's like Protestant or this and that, whatever. But there's people that you could just maybe they've not haven't been exposed to Orthodoxy, but you could feel that true deep love. And I think what you
Hmm.
said is important, teaching them and showing them this and that. It does give them a different perspective.
Hmm.
It does kind of give them food for thought, so that they can kind of
Hmm.
maybe see how deep they want to go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
I know you have
that's
your
all.
thing to do, right? But you could stay as long as you want. I'm just helping you so that you don't have to feel weird
No,
about cutting this off.
that's okay. I do have to be. I'm recording an interview. I'm really looking forward to it. I already did it. It was great, and I
Yeah,
forgot to hit record. So pray that I hit record this time and
do it,
don't have my mic on mute. All this has happened lately, so you
do
know,
it, do it, do
we'll just keep going.
it. Well,
So,
have yourself a great interview.
thank you.
And yeah, that's awesome. You and Maida, may I ask what you guys are talking about?
So we're going. It's really good, man. I'm kicking myself. I did actually click record, but there was a second box that popped up that you were supposed to do record again. I think for the local recording option.
Right.
But we're going over her interview and kind of talking about some finer points around abuse and
Mm,
healing.
mm,
Um, I mean, I love her. I mean, she's really wonderful. She's very honest. She has a
mhm.
really difficult story. For anyone that hasn't heard it, you should go listen to that. We're gonna try
Right.
not to rehash it, but just kind of pull out some key points about once she said she made herself kind of ugly to
Mm,
keep men from looking at her, right? And I
mhm.
think we talked about that. That's actually a really common thing that women do. So
Yep.
this whole conversation about women's femininity and um, there's some ladies that make themselves ugly on purpose, and people kind of dogpile on them. But people should understand that some women are doing that because they've actually been abused, and that's a defense mechanism. So it's not true for all women that are doing that, but it is true for some. So you should just, I think, be careful. You know, we can talk about an attack on beauty in general. That's fine, but be careful who you dogpile on.
Yep.
So it was a really
Agree.
great conversation. I hope we
Well,
are
let us know
successful
when
this time.
you're when it's out. As usual, we'll do our best to pump it out there and
Yeah,
use the
thank you.
network. Use the network. Everybody,
I
use the
will.
network. All
All
right,
right.
Christina. Thank you so much. I will see you very soon.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Adios. Okay, that was awesome. I want to keep doing things like that. I also have a friend. He hasn't agreed to it just yet. That I also want him to come on and every once in a while give us Live of the Saints, that kind of thing. He's really good at. He might even be in the chat still. He's really good at. He's very passionate about the faith, and he's really great at expressing himself and telling us stories about stuff like that. So I'm hoping, I'm always talking in code. All right, what do we got in the chats? Let me see. Manny, is there anything I need to catch up on in the chats? Nads is asking link Mano. I guess he's asking for the StreamYard link. Give him a few minutes and then send it to Nads, or you could throw it in there and we'll just let everybody know a few minutes. Am I missing any comments or anything? No? Okay. Let me see if anything. He told me your job is to be still. Well, I don't know what I'm reading here. I always read the comments wrong. Like I always start at the bottom and then Moldy always makes fun of me. If Moldy's here. Wow, it's turning into an interesting Sunday. Tatiana says, I had a weird experience today. I will sound crazier than usual when I tell this. I heard a voice during a liturgy today, and it said, what did it say? It said, you would stop, if you would stop letting chaos rule your mind, maybe your heart would open up for him. Ending chaos in your mind cannot be a bad thing. I know that well. Chaotic mind. I got that. What an interesting day. What a beautiful day. Started off with that amazing interview with Father John and Father Turbo. if you didn't watch it, if you watched half of it, or if you've watched it, go back and watch it. It's incredible. It's really great. If you haven't checked out the episode we did with Cyprian that we dropped earlier this week, go check that one out. Those two episodes kind of go hand in hand. Has the same sort of energy, a lot of mic drops on both interviews and a lot to learn. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I'm pretty blessed to be able to have conversations like that with such incredible human beings. And this stream has been turning out pretty good too. It's weird. Like I talk about this like, well, you guys are experiencing it. You know how awesome it is. It's awesome. It's awesome. 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 All right, let's see some comments in the chats. What should I read? I don't know, Manny. It's all flying by. Let me know if there's something in there that I should comment on. Anything? Nothing? No? So far, so good, Post says. It's not always like the last. That's one of the things I wanted to do was take a break from SOS Radio. Like I had mentioned on the last episode, and I did earlier today. And I will be going back to SOS Radio, but I just want to kind of give it, give it a break, breathe some new life into it, kind of bring back some pieces that we used to do that we don't do as much anymore. Pop-in guests, Battle of the Bands, some more history breakdowns, looking at things in specific. Like last week, if it wasn't for my ear, that was pretty good concept. I want to do it again. We were talking about the medium is the message, Marshall McLuhan, but that's not what we're talking about. But like basically how like the medium and how we consume music has changed the sound, the production, the cost, and all that stuff, and how art has cheapened a bit, and blah blah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff. AI, it was called from voice to AI, I believe that's what that stream was called. I'm probably gonna be doing that again, but in more structured, a lot more structured. We'll do a little bit of a history and a breakdown of the history of audio recording and how that affects the consumer, how that affects the product, how that affects the artist, both positives and negatives and all that. So yeah, I think that's kind of what we're going to be doing moving forward. Manny's, did you send it to Nads? So there's a comment here that started, what's some stuff you want to study that you don't know much about? Was that to me in the start? Okay, that's a good question. It's a question that I've been thinking about a lot, actually. Charisma. The answer would be, well, you were there earlier for you were there for the Father Turbo, Father John episode. And when I don't know if you were there at the point where I was talking about how this time around coming back to Orthodoxy, I purposely chose not to like consume a lot of books and this and that and kind of be less scholastic about it, which is unlike me. Usually I love to do deep dives into things and I like to get right in there since as far back as I can remember, definitely from 97 onward. So when I came back to Orthodoxy, I took a different approach to it. So things I want to study. Yes, I want to go now that I've kind of have a year in. Well, it's been 2.5, 3 years that I've kind of come back, but definitely a solid good year of all of this stuff, streaming and all that about this stuff. I want to get better at church history, a better understanding first and foremost of the faith. I have a lot of great friends out there. Shout outs to my friends in Texas. I'll just say your names, Germanus and Dave. Have been definitely pivotal in helping me get a better understanding of the faith. Like a lot of the conversations we had when we were in Texas. Keep in mind, we were only there a couple of days. A lot happened, and the road trip we took, I learned so much from those two, and I owe them a lot. So I want to learn more about that kind of stuff. I've been avoiding two subjects to go deeper into. So like my background, if you don't know, it was in Hermeticism, alternative history and stuff like that. But I wasn't like a Tartaria type of dude. I was far more about like practical stuff. Let's just put it that way. I'll just leave it at that. So anyways, to answer your question, I want to go back to some of those things I used to study and look at them from an Orthodox perspective. So one thing would be, I always had a problem with evolution, even before coming back to Orthodoxy. So I was never a Darwinian type of thinker at all. So I want to revisit some of that. Flat Earth. I have certain opinions on that. I'm not a flat earther. Although I do want to kind of see how the church handles some of that. So just to be clear before people start freaking out, but oh my God, what about this? What about that? What about it? What about it? Yes, there are anomalies out there. I don't believe in NASA stories for the most part, for 99.9% of it. So relax. I knew about that from the early days. I've been at this alternative, if you want to call it conspiracy theory type stuff, since about I see a NADS. I'll be right there. Since high school, man. It's like end of the late 90s. I went through all of that stuff up until recently. So I'm well versed in that stuff, right? Even before it was super popular. So I'm well aware of the Malachias from NASA. I'm well aware of certain anomalies out there. My whole thing is, yes, we can identify anomalies with many things, from biology to a lot of things, but to quickly, jump on Jack Parsons, exactly. But to jump on like a conclusion, and be like, it must be this. Oh, there's this anomaly, this and that. Oh, must be Tartaria. And they had all this. Get out of here, man. Come on, dude. There's way better explanations for all that kind of stuff. So to answer your question, I want to look at young Earth versus old Earth. So I haven't reached out to him yet, or I haven't made any connection with him, but I do want to talk to Seraphin Hamilton and a few others on that subject. I want to talk about the biblical perspective on how they view the planet versus flat Earth type of stuff. I want some clarity there. There are some strange anomalies. I'm open to hearing a lot of different opinions on the matter. I'm well versed in psyops, and I know certain things are completely and utterly, they stink of psyop. And some of those subjects. To answer your question, so young Earth versus old Earth, I'm interested in that, going down that rabbit hole for a minute. Certain things on evolution, revisit some of that stuff, and stuff that I was really passionate about. I don't have any of my books around me on the subject now, but I have plenty of books on alternative archaeology stuff. I was never an ancient aliens guy. Let me just get that out of the way. But I do know that there's a lot of strange anomalies in terms of archaeology, everything from Göbekli Tepe to the world's full of them, those anomalies. Yeah, the pyramids and blah, blah, blah. I am in Mexico. When I went to Chichen Itza, for example, well versed in Chichen Itza before coming back to Orthodoxy. We're doing a tour at Chichen Itza. For you guys don't know what Chichen Itza is, it's a pyramid complex in the Yucatan. I went there in 2017, and I was walking around, whatever, and then the tour guide didn't really know what he was talking about. So then I kind of took over, and I wasn't taking over his tour, but someone was like, what's this over here? So I started explaining it to them, and then I started explaining it to this one guy, and I turn around, and there's a group of people following me. So I was like explaining all this stuff about Chichen Itza and stuff like that. So that's what my background was. So I want to revisit some of those archaeological anomalies and view them from a Orthodox perspective, because I have some ideas and theories even before becoming Orthodox on why Göbekli Tepe is there. Why does it date so old? Why did they bury it? Who built it? Why is it structured in such a way? And blah blah blah. Wow, that was a long answer. I think I answered your question. But there's a lot more too. So I want to revisit a lot of the things I was obsessed with for the last 25 years and kind of revisit some of those things from an Orthodox perspective. That's kind of my answer. Let me just, before I throw on Nads, who's staring in the camera, I'll wait for Nads to give me a thumbs up, and then I'm going to look at, so Joseph Beard says, in a weird way, Graham Hancock's work prepared my mind for orthodoxy. I totally understand that. I first read Graham Hancock in Fingerprints of the Gods, came out in 97. So I wrote it around 98, 99. Magicians of the Gods, read that. I have Talesman here. He wrote a book with Robert Buvald. I was well versed in Graham Hancock way before he became super famous, and I'm not trying to be that guy, but I'm just saying the view on Graham Hancock has changed quite a bit. don't know if I would say I'm a fan of his. I'm not. There's a lot of stuff that he says and does that are questionable to me now, for sure. Doesn't mean that he doesn't say a lot of stuff that were legit and true. There's a couple of them. Christopher Dunn, another one. He wrote, I forgot the name of the book, Pyramid Power Plant, but he was an engineer, like a by trade, and he was trying to look at a lot of the stuff that was built and explaining. I see it now. Give me a minute. Yeah, him, Robert Bouval, Robert Schock. Yeah, a lot of those cats. Robert Temple. That was an interesting cat. He wrote that book. I forgot the title of so many of these books. What was it called again? It was about the tribe in West Africa. Wow, it's been so long. Jumbo Melchizedek and a bunch of them. What are they called again? Good God, I'm on camera trying to think this through. Yeah, Randall Carlson. Yeah, Randall Carlson. Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me back up. There's some interesting questions here. Nads, give me a minute, man. Now it's getting really crazy here for me. I was a Luciferian. Got deep into things. Had some interesting overlaps with Jack Parson work, and usually, glory to God. Yeah. I guess to some degree, I was practicing some of that stuff too without knowing it. I was into Hermeticism. I was on Buck Johnson's Counterflow, where I talked a bit about my background with Hermeticism, talked about how Hermes Trismegistus may have been either a fallen angel, Hermes would have been either a fallen angel or nudged by the deceivers through his whole experience with the Pomander. Randall Carlson. Okay. Well, yeah. So Randall Carlson, I first came into contact with his work 2001, 2, around there. Good work. Same. I would put him in the same camp as Graham Hancock. Both have questionable things, and it's not just about him being a Mason, but there's some questionable things where they're leading you. The conclusion that they're leading you towards is actually veering away from orthodoxy. To be honest with you, it seems like it could, like both Joseph Beard and you said, I think it was you, Mela, who said that he opened you up to orthodoxy. I could see that. I totally dig that. Me too, with the whole Gobekli Tepe thing and a few other things, and how they would even connect with a pre-diluvial society where we could even look at it from Noah's Ark perspective and all that stuff. Totally. But they also make some dot connections that are, should be careful with those ones. Maybe I'll do an episode on that. I've been avoiding this subject, but a lot of people want me to talk about it. Christina brought up some stuff that she wanted me to talk about based on the talk I did on Counterflow. Beatnik, welcome, dear brother. I haven't seen you in a while. Hold on a second. Greg Braden. Okay, hold on. Now we're talking. First of all, he mentions, okay, we went down the similar path. David Wilcock. Okay, let me talk about Mr. Wilcock here real quick. His first book, The Source Field Investigation, or his first really important book, or popular book. Sorry, Nad, they got me talking about this thing. Give me a second. He's in the background dancing. David Wilcock's book, The Source Field Investigation, I think it was called, something like that. I had that. Still doing Canada. It's like thick, but it's good for referencing certain experiments and things done over the years. It's really good for that. He's a nut job, though, David Wilcox. I don't think I have anyone. I don't have to explain that. I won't go any further than that. Total nut job. I was kind of into stuff. Gurdjieff. Yeah. I did that. I went down that road. I think I have to do an episode on all this stuff, and everyone just throw people in there. I'm like, yeah, I remember Gurdjieff. Yeah, okay. So half Greek, half Armenian, Russian. Enneagram. He was the one that popularized the Enneagram. Similar story to Madame Blavatsky, H.P. Blavatsky. Yeah, we need to do an interview on this stuff. Have you read Constantine Chambers' books? No, the name's familiar. Let me look him up. The name is familiar. Nothing comes to mind. Space Santa? Who's that? Space Grandpa, Space Santa. I don't know who that is. I didn't know anything about him. I'm just going through this quiz. I was OTO. Were you? Initiate. Really? Interesting. Well, I got approached by the Rosicrucians in Toronto. I went and left pretty quickly. I didn't attach myself to any of these societies because there's just something I like to do things on my own for a lot, yes, Randall Carlson's an open Freemason. Definitely. But I know Luciferian when I was, okay, I'm just going to scroll through this real quick. Greg Braden, here we go. Yeah. I had a few of his books. Oh, yeah. Anyone used to be into Greg Braden, yep. Interesting character. Mr. Greg Braden and Drunvalo Melchizedek are two that really stand out. There's a lot I learned from Mr. Greg Braden and from Drunvalo Melchizedek that still have come in handy. They were actually friends for a while. That's a dangerous path for sure. He's a hardcore Gnostic. And a few other things. I talked to him. Yeah, anyways, I'll leave it at that. Transhumanism, predictive programming. Yeah, Greg Braden. Yep. Boomer. Woo. I'm just like trying to go through this quick. Dave has changed a lot to me. Yeah. Wilcox started going nuts, especially after he kept making like direct claims about 2012 and then they didn't come true. And then he kept going with all these weird predictions. And then remember, he was predicting, what was his name? Corey Goodall and all those guys. They're going to be like guys that come out of the woodwork and like reveal all the stuff. And then he got into the Q stuff. And then I lost track right after 2012. I was like, nah, I'm not really listening to this guy no more. Anyways, I'm going to flow through this and we'll bring up our dear friend Nads Blavatsky, blah, blah. I don't know if I'm missing anything else. If there's anything else that I'm missing, because I'm skimming over it quickly so I can throw this guy, our dear friend Nads, bring him up. Throw it back in the chats and see where we go. Let's see what Nads has to say. Nads, when you're back, throw me a thumbs up. I'm ready to throw him back up, and it's just a picture of Nads. There he is. Okay, here comes Mr. Nads. That sounds wrong. Hola, what's up, brother?
What's up, man?
What is happening? What's Nads doing? He's messing with us. Hold on, let me see if I can get your microphone louder. First of all, turn your automatic adjust microphone volume thing off. Or here, I just did it. Can you speak? Say something. That's not saying anything. That's coughing, malaka. Turn your automatic adjust microphone volume off so I can turn up your volume. It's not super loud.
Okay, 1 sec.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. I am being rude. Everyone in the comments, Mano's being rude because it calls him the
I
Nads.
think it's good.
What's going on, dude?
I can't speak loud.
Why are people sleeping?
That's why I came on to entertain with the background. You know.
It might be a little weird if you someone just tuning in randomly like this guy's whispering. What's that thing that people do where they're like, hello, I'm touching the microphone right now. I'm just
Yes, ASMR.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
It's creepy.
I can hear it.
That's crazy. What's going on, dude? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm in Paris visiting my sister.
I can barely hear this guy. Did you say I'm in Paris? I'm visiting my sister? Is that what you said? Turn this guy up, man. How can I turn this guy up? Can you turn your automatic mic adjustment thing off?
It's off.
No, you're on a phone, aren't you?
I'm here. Yes, I'm on the phone.
Okay, that's why.
I just came to say God bless everyone and just follow the Mano stream and like, and I was looking forward to watch the interview, but unfortunately I have to
No, it's okay.
talk with my sister.
That's That's not unfortunate, man. Your sister matters. You know what I mean?
I'm just kidding.
I know. Go back and watch it.
I will.
Everybody in the chat loves you.
I love them.
Di-
I don't deserve your love, guys.
Yeah, you do. You deserve everybody's love. You're legit, guy. Manny and I were talking about that a couple days ago. That you're legit.
You're legit. I go to your guys' streams to get advice. You know, even if indirectly you are giving me advice in my life.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you,
Well, that's
man.
great. No, thank you, brother. That's awesome, dude. Well, keep up what you're doing.
Because of your stream, I changed the profile of my YouTube.
Right, because you were conjuring up some bad people, right?
I didn't know though. I didn't know.
No, it's okay. A lot of us don't know. A lot of
I thought
things
it
are
was
signals.
just a troll. I thought I could use it as a troll.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of their the symbolism on stuff, their sigils. You know what I mean? And that is what it. I mean, if you go back and listen to Cyprian, you know, we're talking to a lot about that for sure, man.
Yeah, the stream with Cyprian was amazing. Bro. I loved it.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. Cyprian's crazy, awesome. Yeah. I like the picture in the back.
I sent it to Wes. He was on the train. Out
You
of
what?
nowhere. I
What?
sent it to Wes.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. I was on the train
Yeah.
and I sent it to Wes. Out of nowhere. And then I told him I'm heading to Commie, France.
Yeah, France is almost as bad as Canada. I don't know which one's worse.
The moment I got here,
Yeah.
I was disgusted. It's disgusting here.
In what way?
hate Paris. It's I mean, I don't want to be racist, man. If you know what I mean.
Okay, well, don't be outright, but be. I think I get what you're saying. A lot of interesting people.
A lot of Bajits, a lot of
That's worldwide.
Africans, a lot of
Yeah.
Muslims.
Yeah, it's like that in Canada too now. Like
Yeah, but
crazy.
I mean, in London it's like this, but I got used to getting away from it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Here, like I just go, it's disgusting. Just see it everywhere.
Yeah, it's like that in Canada, which we're probably going to be going to over the Christmas holiday. I haven't been to Canada in 3 years, and I'm expecting to see a lot of that. It was already like that in Toronto, but now I heard it's like crazy.
Yeah, I came here last year and it wasn't that crazy.
Yeah, over the last year, it seems that that's been a problem worldwide.
And I know if my voice is annoying, I can leave. It's not a problem.
No, it's not that it's annoying. It's hard to hear. So I don't know if like it's hard. Like if you could turn, but you can't because you're using a phone. The adjust, I could turn you up, but I can't. Hold on, what are people saying here? Please read The Hidden Dangers of the Rainbow Constant Cumber Bay. Oh, yeah. Dangers of the Rainbow. That is a book I've heard of. I haven't read it. So, yes, I am familiar with his work without being familiar with the author, his name outright. Yep. Yeah. So many of those Malachias there. Are you seeing a lot of that kind of stuff in France? A lot of Skittles?
More, I mean, I've just been here for like 3 hours and I saw like 4. So,
Okay. Would you say so far in the 3 hours you've been there more or less than London?
London, I see on average around like 2 a week.
Oh, you have to go to Brighton. Brighton's where all that stuff is, right?
Yeah, but there's some parts of London that's disgusting. It's like streets full of them and stuff that's disgusting.
Yeah.
If you go to Rigovich land,
Mm-hmm. Where's Rigovich? Brighton,
I
right?
think she's in Brighton. Yeah.
Yeah, Brighton's yeah. That's I live in Brighton. Yeah, yeah. It's I like Brighton is sounds like a like Toronto, like the whole city. Yeah, I used to hear about it from like artists, a lot of musicians and artists I knew that were UK artists and stuff like that. They all you would move to Brighton. Toronto was cool like that at one point, but it wasn't because of the whole mess that it is now. And then now it's turned into a big skata fest. It's like a malakias everywhere, man. Everywhere, everywhere. What happened here? I guess Moldy Apples just came back. He's like, what I miss? Oh, you missed quite a bit there, Janglar. Moldy, I recommend you go check this stream out from the beginning. I don't always say that, but this has been a pretty good one. Convos with the Mano, pretty good rants in the beginning.
Lebanese ASMR.
Lebanese, he's the Lebanese ASMR guy. He's like, I'm over here just tapping on this. Can you hear me? Can you hear me tapping on this? But if you do ASMR, whatever, but if you do it like properly, I used to make a lot of binaural beats, and I used to make a lot of those beats, especially before it was like super popular. It does work. It does work. But the way that they use ASMR, it's just like stupid, but you could do it in a cool way.
They use it for like soft core.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. Like even right now, you're creeping me out a bit when you're doing it. Like seriously, it is kind of creepy.
I'm gonna
And then they
leave.
use
I'm
it in
gonna
like
leave.
this way. Sorry.
I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
To hop on and say hi.
It's like someone's behind you, whispering in your ear, going, "Hey, I'm behind you." And you're like, "What? What the fuck?" He's like ready to hit them. It's freezing in here, dude.
This went on longer than I expected. So.
All right, no worries, brother. Have yourself a good one.
Bye.
We'll catch you again. Send me a message. We'll get you on here proper. Bored no more and stuff.
Sure.
Adios. All right. Don't know how much longer we're going to go. We do have an interesting trip tomorrow. We're going to go visit. Anyone else want to jump on? Let us know. I don't know if Manny. Did you throw? If anybody feels like jumping on for a quick combo with the Mano or anything like that, let me know. We'll see. We'll see if we can grab some more. One of the key things with the convos with the Mano is try not to do spurg out panels. Like well structured, moderated panels are awesome, even when they're funny. There's a lot of people I know that put good panels on, but there's so many that I watch that I don't watch them. I can't. They're just like spurg fests. They're just people just like about whatever. Like, look what I know. So that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for actual conversations. We want to encourage and participate in conversations. So if anyone wants to jump on for a quick one, that'd be fine. That'd be fine. If not, I have a few more things I'm going to ramble about, and then probably call it a night. Love that you guys are, look forward to these chats. We do too, like these streams. We do too. I think it's an important part about kind of keeping things together, which I guess it seems to be the theme of today's post Father Turbo, Father John episode. Tomorrow we're going to Puerto Vallarta from where we are currently, which is not super far in Mexico standards. We're going to go there to visit some friends, and we also have some we have some things to take care of. Manny has to renew his residency type thing. And we'll only be there a couple of days, so it's not like a vacation or anything like that. We'll still be working while we're there. Visit some friends. It's way hotter there than it is where we are right now, so that'll be a nice little change. Well, also because like I'd hinted to or have mentioned in the episode, Texas calling. So Manny, if you don't mind, some links to throw in there, and even throw them in the description if you don't mind. The Father John Valadez, Father Turbo episode we just did, gotta watch that. Please do yourself a favor, not for me, for yourself. That conversation, and it's not because of SOS right now, it's all Father John, all Father Turbo. Go check out that episode. Everything they said in there is extremely important for us to hear at this point in time. that is one thing I do like doing with the show, is having conversations. I mean, there are things that are on my mind or whatever, or some of my guests, but they're not your usual, your usual conversations, right? So I think that the subjects we talked about are important. The episode we did with I always call him Father. I should tell him maybe he should be a priest. Cyprian from the Royal Path that we dropped earlier this week. That was something else, man. Go check that out for reals. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, Father Turbo, Father John, Cyprian Royal Path. Oh, Texas Calling. I like that episode. That was a good one. Although it was all over the place, it was just me and Manny just telling stories. But if you're interested in some of the rambles and jambles of what we're trying to do with Texas and Mexico, we kind of go over some of those things. We talk about our experiences going to church, meeting Father Turbo, meeting Father Paul, meeting Germanus, meeting Dave Sims, all that stuff. Pretty cool. Going to Buc-ee's, all those stories. Good episode. I like that. Yeah, so we're going to PV. That's why I brought it up. We're going to PV to take care of business, a few things, work from there, and like podcast work. This is what we're trying to do full time, just so you guys know. We are trying to do this full time, so we really appreciate all the love and support that we get. So it's very, very, yeah, thank you so much for all the love and support you guys give us. We are trying to do this. We are doing it full time ish. It's not really, yeah, we're just trying to make it work. Anyways, what was I going to say? Check the start. And what was I going to say? What am I talking about? Where Riga is saying, where? Too late? What's too late? Where what? I'm sorry, I don't understand. We have, huh?
Looking for the StreamYard link.
Oh, yeah. Jump on if you want. Go for it. We have a Board No More Facebook group. Yes, thank you, Tatiana. Right. I started it a bit ago, but I didn't really move on it. Noticed a lot of key players are on Facebook, meaning like a lot of priests, a lot of people. I'm surprised they use it a lot. So I set up a Facebook group for Board No More. So if you're a content creator, if someone that wants to just drop posts and this and that, join our Facebook group. It's just kind of starting. So yeah, do that. We want to stay as connected as possible. That's the whole point of this. And again, it's not one of those groups where it's like, just our group, like the SOS group. It's for everybody. If you're a content creator, if you have opinions, if you want to share stuff, if you want to connect with people, use it. If you're a musician, like post, use it. All right, whatever. Yeah, no worries if you don't have Facebook. I don't want to open too many of the groups in different places. So we have our Instagram, we have Facebook, Telegram, and Discord, but we are working on the website. Manny's working really hard on the website, and we're going to start putting pieces together to make it really more. Let's talk about the website real quick. We want it to be the hub. The website was going to be where we're going to start like moving all our subscribers there, as well as we're going to start having so pay attention to this. This is actually, I bookmarked a few things. This is a bookmark. So part of the website will be the Board No More network. What that will mean is, so if you're a content creator, you'll actually have a page if you want that you want to be part of the group, and you'll actually have so basically it'll be kind of like Patreon, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, website, all rolled into one. And it'll be like like back in the day, this is before 2020 when everyone started opening up their the Daily Wire started doing their member media hub thing, whatever, and a bunch of those all started. I had this idea back then, but then coming back to Orthodoxy. Anyways, long story short, the website will be kind of functioning like that. So, and it'll also have a heavy crypto component, something that hopefully we'll be working with a few Orthodox crypto people like Cyprian maybe. We'll talk about that another time, where it'll be set up in a way where you can actually, where if you're a content creator or even if you're just a member and a supporter, we're gonna have like an ecosystem. We're working on it now, where like you get paid for things, and it'll be built into the transaction. Example: let's say someone purchases, Gene Reeves puts out an album. He purchases it through the network. So you purchase it through the network. Automatically, when you make that purchase, it'll you could even do it in US dollars, PayPal, whatever. You won't even have to have any like technology, even if you're technology, stupid, you don't know anything about technology, it won't be a problem. You'll make the purchase. It'll be converted to a particular crypto token on the back end. Then Gene will get paid instantly. So there won't even be any it'll be just full transparent. And then we'll even try to make it sort of like how some platforms that were trying this in the past, like for example, Odyssey, they were trying to make it so that the more you used it, the more you got paid as a member. We're trying to work all that into it. It'll be totally interactive. And then we'll have our chat like the way that you have it now on YouTube. It'll be there, something like this. And we're trying to make it even better. So the point I'm trying to get at is we have these groups. We have Discord, we have Telegram, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, all that. Eventually, it'll all be on there. So we'll that way, if something happens and people get censored or any of that stuff that's coming, it'll all be in one place, easy to go. You'll be able to, let's say, a bunch of these content creators, join forces with us. So far, it is working in that direction. So don't worry. Tatiana says she's a tech retard. Don't worry. It'll be very easy to use. We're already kind of working that out now. And even with the crypto stuff, it'll be like you can make your transaction, whatever you want, PayPal, whatever, and it'll just do it for you. You won't even have to worry about it. It's very easy. Once we saw how eCash works, a project through Cyprian, I was like, wow, this is ridiculously simple. Ridiculously simple. Like my dad can use it. Where was I? Yeah. So let's say you're everything will be on the site. Let's say Post drops an album, Gene Reeves drops an album, we drop an album, we have a podcast, we have like our own pages. It'll look like kind of like as if it's like someone's own website, and they can actually use it in such a way. Again, we never own royalties, we never own copyrights, so you could do whatever you want with your stuff. Nothing to do with us. It's all yours. And anything on that site, we're working out some really good ways of making everything kind of functional and work for everyone. But if something happens, and they shut things down, we have a home. Even if they don't, it'll be so much easier to have private conversations. So I don't have to be have to worry about censorship at all. No one will have to. And anyways, everybody will be you'll have this app sort of thing. Definitely a site. I don't want to go into too many details on apps because I'm not a big fan of apps through the Play Store. We'll bypass all that. Manny, what's that called where you do it through Brave and stuff? An app, online app thing. Kevin Goat. If Kevin was here, you normally know it. I can't remember what it's called, but basically it's like when you don't have to download the app. It's what is it called? You get it. You could just do it on Odyssey used to be like that for a minute where you just, anyways, basically it'll be super. What's it called? Progressive web app. It'll be a progressive web app. So we won't have to worry about any of that garbage. And it'll be more like the site will be kind of like how you get into it, but it won't be a site. It'll be more, it'll work very much like most of the apps you use and most of the things that you do. It'll all be there. And if you're a content creator on there with us, it's kind of like a one-stop shop. You jump on there, let's say, you're a subscriber. Again, all of this will be on the up and up. Everything will be transparent. I'm very big on that. So that's part of what I want to work on is a transparent option. So you can go and see exactly where all the money goes and to who and to how. And there's no question asked that you don't have to worry about us being weird or whatever. You would go on there and you would get all the content creators that you like that are part of Board No More network currently and in the future, everything. I haven't fully talked to most of these people, but let's just say I'm working on talking with some people are interested. Let's just say the Royal Path. Let's just say Buck Johnson. Let's just say us. Let's just say Death to the World. Let's just say things like that, whatever. It's not there yet. Gene Reeves and Post's music. I haven't talked to them about. Let's just say it's like that. That kind of thing. You just jump on there. You could just go music, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Throw it on your phone. Listen to music. Check out videos out. Download them. Do whatever you want. No bother from anyone. Everyone gets paid. Keep repeating this because it's extremely important for those that recall. I've been in. I've been on a record label. I've worked for a record label. I've been on a record label. I've done shows. I've seen how like contracts work. I see how shady they are. I was working on like building a media thing before the COVIDs came around and slapped upside our heads. I was gonna already be doing this, but now it's all for orthodox content creation. So no copyrights, no masters. What that means is, let's say you're an artist on here and you want to have your own YouTube channel, and on your own YouTube channel you're making a gajillions of dollars. That's yours. It wouldn't work that way. Anyways, I see Riga is backstage. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Take your time. I can't hear you, so whenever you're ready, just give me one of these. I don't know what to say. Are you ready? Is she?
I think Mela and her at the same time, like they want
Okay, she gave me a thumbs up. Bella's there too? Yeah, whoever. Okay. All right, Riga, I'm hitting the throw you up button.
But how do I turn you off?
Thumbs up.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, whoever.
I could totally hear you. I could hear someone else too.
Riga, I'm hitting
Oh, that's me.
I never do this.
Put me on mute, or if you have headsets. If you don't worry about it.
What else too?
Riga, I'm hitting
That's me.
I never do this. What do I do?
Or if you have headset,
Do you have headsets with a microphone?
No, and
No.
I just thought, because I've just been enjoying this little community for so much, and I've been so lonely, so I just wanted to say hi, just quickly. It's
No
just really
problem.
important.
No, thank you for doing this. You don't have to go.
No, I'll try and stay. I can't see. It's so small. I'm used to my
Okay.
laptop.
So the best way to go is whenever we're talking, hit mute, and then when you're about to talk, unmute, and that way there won't be that echo. Is that okay? Can you do that? Do you know how to do that?
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't, I could do it for you, or I could try. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I see Mela's here too. Mela, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. Are you ready to have Mela come up too?
Sure, bring her on.
All right, let's do it. Let's do this. This is awesome.
I got to tell you, my glasses just missed it up with
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can totally hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Hi, Mano. Hi, Riga.
Oh, it's good to
Hi,
finally
love.
meet you guys.
Yeah. Likewise.
This is awesome. You have no idea how much this is making me very happy. Thank you guys for doing this. This is awesome.
I've been meaning to do it for a while, so finally.
I just
Awesome.
thought if I wait for the perfect time, it'll never happen.
Never. Shout outs to Denise. She did the same thing on the last Convo with the Mano. She says she never goes on camera, and then she did it.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a little setup, I think.
You should. You can
Yeah.
even keep it simple and just get a headset that has a microphone, and you're good. Even something simple like
That's
something like
good.
this. Just, earbuds with a microphone works.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, you've been very inspiring, actually.
Who I am?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not good with compliments. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's the point. I think I'm trying to encourage people to do stuff like this, because I think we should do this. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's awesome. I love the community. I love your streams. Everyone's so nice.
Mm.
I just love it.
Awesome. Well, it's good to and you know what? And I think it's commendable that you guys are doing this, because I do know how hard it could be to jump on a camera if you've not done this before. I'm usually an extrovert, but it was even hard for me when I first started doing it, like the live streaming stuff. So honestly, I know that it takes a lot to do what you're doing. So big kudos to you guys for sure.
Yeah, any minute now, one of my kids is gonna run in here asking for something. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Well, that's what it's all about, right? Kids.
Yeah, I guess so.
It is midnight here, so I'm not going to stay for long.
Oh, no worries.
I can't believe I'm literally fogging up my glasses. I'm so panicky. Yeah.
Don't be.
I've just been cleaning the kitchen. I don't know what came over me, but it's so nice to see you. And I just thought it's about time we introduce ourselves with our faces.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm so happy you did. Are you leaving?
I think I should.
No, you don't. It's
Too
up to you. It's
soon.
totally, yeah. It's up to you.
I wish
Stick
I'm
around for a little
call back.
bit.
I'll call back another time when I've got my laptop because it's so small.
Oh, you're using your phone.
Yeah, I've got a really old phone too.
Okay. Well, it's up to you.
I'll just
Totally
do
cool.
Mela, because I've just been talking to these people for a long time on other channels too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I just really wanted to see, and everyone to sort of see me as well, because
Yes.
it's very lonely. I've been finding it really lonely over here. Actually,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I haven't found many people that are before I even became Christian, and now becoming Christian and Orthodox. It's like there's even less people to connect with. So
Mm-hmm.
that's it from me.
Mm-hmm. Adios. Well, thank you for doing
Adios.
this. And
Ciao, ciao.
we're also in the same boat, so I totally get it. Manny and I and a few of us, we're all in the same boat. Trust me. That's why we did the Sunday stream today, even though we weren't going to do SOS. I know a lot of people were really sad when we didn't do the last Sunday, and I was like, "Oh, okay, we got to do this. It's a
Right.
duty. It's a duty."
Well,
Yeah, it's
thank
like
you.
a fellowship thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't really. Sorry, Riga, I don't know if you're taking off now.
No,
Take
go
care.
on. I'm just
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, even though I go to church every Sunday, there's only so many people that I could talk to, but you know, people in this community actually have like a sense of humor and stuff. So I still need this kind of online fellowship thing. I know there's some downsides, but I think your community is really positive. So
Oh, thanks.
I don't see anything wrong with it, you know. But I do see a lot of like some of the spaces in the orthosphere, and you've already touched on this so many times. It's getting a little cringe, you know. It's getting a little LARPy, and so that's why I'm so glad I found you like a couple months ago. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. That means a lot. It does, and I know what you mean, obviously. And that's another reason why we're careful on how we're trying to move forward and how we kind of set things up from the get go. Like I said earlier, we had a couple ideas for stuff that I know would have made super bank, but I'm like, I can't do it. I just can't be that person, you know? We don't need no more debate channels.
Yeah, we don't. We don't need too many more debates, I don't think. And actually, this is coming from someone who has watched them for like a year straight. I was like deep in that stuff. I wasn't debating, obviously, but I did find myself being a little argumentative about stuff I had no idea I was even talking about, you know? And I was only baptized in 2020, so I'm a baby. So
That's still, that's great. That 2020 is
have-
not that long ago.
well, I
Sorry?
haven't even been baptized yet.
You're a catechumen, right?
Yeah, I'm catechumen.
Send me a message because you're saying you're having a hard time finding a priest to talk to and all that.
Yeah, yeah, that would be good. I will, and I'm going to talk to Buck about it too.
Yeah. Buck and I are both Father Turbo's spiritual sons.
Trying to
So
find a good connection, but I think I'm going to go. But I will talk to you soon.
okay, have yourself a great one. It was great. Thank you for jumping on. Really appreciate that. Your mic's gone. She's on mute. Oh, let me see if I can unmute her. No, I can't. She turned it off. Nah, she's gone. Well, Riga, if you're in the chats, thank you so very much for doing that. I know it took a lot to do that. She'll hear that. How are you doing?
I'm good, you know, just just doing the mom thing, homeschooling, and just checking in on streams every once in a while. Probably more than I should, but I'm actually trying to dial it down, just like Father Turbo was mentioning.
Yep.
So trying to practice a little bit of discipline in that sense, like leaving my phone by the icon table or something. You know,
smart.
it's probably a good idea.
That's a good one. Yeah, I think it was might have been Mr. Westford who said his friend suggested putting an icon of the Theotokos on his phone or by his phone so that it was kind of like a reminder. I like that. That was a good one.
That's a good one.
How do you find homeschooling in your situation? Do you have a lot of support?
Oh, tons of support. Yeah. Well, first of all, we're part of a charter. So we actually get a budget per year to spend. And so since my daughter, she's only in kindergarten,
Mhm.
We don't have to spend a whole lot on the curriculum because we're taking it really easy. So I just spend the money on all these classes, like art classes, music classes. Like there's all kinds of really cool stuff. Sorry, you probably hear them.
Oh no, don't apologize for having kids in the background. Don't apologize for that at all. That's why when you said they might come running, I'm like, perfect. That's great.
Yeah, I might have to like leave the studio or something, but
Yeah, no
hopefully
problem.
not.
No
But
problem.
and then we also have a co-op with our church. This is our 3rd year going on, and every year it's getting better and better.
Mhm.
Right now, the kids are actually learning chants from a professional chanter who's actually teaching us on Thursday nights, like a group of adult parishioners, basically. He's
Awesome.
awesome. And then there's also an iconographer. She actually did the icons in our church's altar. It's really amazing. And she's also teaching the kids like legit iconography. I'm
Wow.
jealous of these kids. Like they're doing such cool stuff. So
Me
yeah, it's
too.
really great.
That's really what jurisdiction are you?
I'm Greek Orthodox. Yeah.
Okay, Greek Orthodox. Okay, so when you guys do when they're teaching the chanting, they're obviously not doing it in Greek. They're doing it in English, right?
Both. Probably just English right
Oh.
now. I think they're
Okay.
just learning like we are Byzantine notation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny. The other meeting that we had, we were actually diving into the Vesper service and actually learning how to do it,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
learning how to intone some of the verses. And you have to do it in a certain mode, which
Yeah.
just blows my mind, like how people can switch around. And so, oh, here's my daughter. So just 1 second, darling.
No problem. Take your time. Don't worry about it.
Just one.
Yeah. No problem. No problem. Guys, see, things like this is why I love this. Doing the combos with the Mano. Like I mentioned before, Cyprian jumped on the first one. Denise jumped on the first one. Kevin, the goat, McCormick jumped on. Christina's been on many times, but like a lot of people in the audience, seeing their faces, having the conversations in the chats. We had Daniel on back in the day. We had Joseph Beard on a couple times. We're gonna have both of them on again. Having Riga on, that was awesome. Like you get to see who the other person is in the chat. And also you're surprised. I think a lot of people might be surprised on how good they are at this. Like podcasting and getting on. Hi, you're back.
I'm back.
Yeah, don't ever
So-
have to apologize about that.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot what I was saying.
We're talking about chanting and the end modes.
Yeah, and so we were just like jumping into trying to improvise intoning the verses,
Mm-hmm.
and that, like, oh my gosh, it's so like scary. I don't know, it's just so scary. So I did it once, and the teacher was like, "That was great. Can you do it again?" I'm like, "Absolutely not. I have no idea how to do it again." And I just went into this like laughing fit. It was really crazy. And yeah, I just couldn't get it together. Like I was like, couldn't stop laughing. So I had to leave. But what's wrong with me?
Is that your normal reaction to a compliment? You just laugh?
Just like giggle hysterically. Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah. So what is it
Yeah.
about them? Are the modes like foreign to you? Because I think your husband's Bulgarian, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So some of the modes are similar because that's Byzantine. Usually, not all Bulgarian churches, but a lot of them are.
And they do use some of the chromatic scales, which sounds very like Middle Eastern or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm definitely not used to that. But I don't know. I think between the modes, I'm still learning, obviously, but some of the modes love certain notes more. So you kind of prefer, and I just haven't really learned. I feel like the way he's teaching us is he's kind of withholding information, so I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out, but I feel like it's really, really hard. So if anyone knows Byzantine notation and all the modes, the 8 modes, I really respect them.
I don't know the any theory, but when I hear it, I know it. Like you have to like end it that way, and there's like different ones like that. Well, it's because also that's Greek music, and it's like part of our culture. But there was a guy I was gonna have on who teaches it. I should get him on. I totally forgot about it. I'm gonna write that down and have him explain it. He does Byzantine chants. So it sounds Indian to you. You said like it sounds Arabic, like Middle Eastern, right? You were saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. For me, it does, like a lot of it doesn't because I grew up in it. But then when I would bring like non-Greeks to church or whatever, or even to when they hear Greek music, they're like, it sounds Arabic or Indian. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Mhm.
there's a difference. But I can hear the difference, but they can't hear the difference. So in time, you'll hear the difference. It's the bends. There's less bends than
Oh, yeah.
the Islamists, or sorry,
Yeah, tons of
the Arabs.
bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like Nads knows all about this wherever he is. He's still jamming in there. It's like,
Does Nads chant or read?
no, but he does sound like he's got some musical skills. Nadim, don't let that go to your head. But I heard him do some stuff. I think it comes naturally for him as it does for me because of the culture.
Oh yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
he's Lebanese and stuff. So are you gonna take it seriously? Are you gonna go do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it as much as I can without laughing like a crazy person.
It'll wear off. It'll wear off for sure. It'll wear
Yeah, I
off.
hope so. It's really inspiring though. The teacher is amazing, and he's like this huge guy, and his voice is so loud, and it's kind of intimidating, but he's really great at just pulling you in, you know. So it's really good.
You're
Really
in
blessed to be a
California,
part of
right?
it. Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm in the Bay Area.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Bay Area. Oh, that's an interesting place to be. What's that like?
I'm in a cool place that's really not that annoying, but I used
Mhm.
to be in San Jose, and
Mm.
I've visited a few times ever since I moved, and it's really bad. I would never want to be stuck living there, you know? I
I
mean,
do.
just like homeless and all just kinds of crazy problems.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I'm expecting a lot of that when I go to Toronto. Things have probably have changed a lot in 3 years.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, it's worldwide. You see a lot of
Oh
changes in
yeah.
a lot of the blue states and Canadian liberal. Well, I think all of Canada is like that, man. Psh, Canada's
That's
next
why,
level.
you know, a lot of people are like, leave California. And I'm just like, why? I'm gonna move to another place that in 5, 10 years is I just don't see why I would uproot my life to go move somewhere that's changing, you know? So
Yeah, it depends on where you're going, but there are places where it might be a little bit different. I'm going to mention
yeah,
Texas.
I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have like said anything because you are
No,
doing that.
no, not at all. No, it's not the same. It's not the same. I totally understand. It wasn't easy leaving Toronto when we first did it. And yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. It's
Yeah.
really tough.
Sorry. Here comes someone.
No,
Oh,
no
it's my
problem. No problem. Don't apologize. Do your thing. Let me catch up with some of the chats in here. Less about the state and more about the area you live in. I agree. Although I don't know how states work as well. Canada, that wouldn't apply post. I agree with you after having been in the US a couple times. Totally different system. That would not apply in Canada. I'll tell you why. Because well, it's far more socialist. So like someone might think, well, they can't do that. I mean, yeah, I'll leave Canada. Canada is like, yeah, even if you find a place that's not funky and weird, you don't have certain rights there that you do in the US. I'll leave it at that. Also, like state to state is different, true, but yeah, the Toronto. Yeah, I know you are. I know you are. I totally agree. Also, the thing is, as things get crazier and crazier, though, no problem, Mela. Not a problem at all. I totally get it. I totally get it. Totally. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Thank you so much for doing that, Mela. I know that wasn't easy for sure. You're always welcome to jump on. Riga, you're welcome to jump. Everybody and anybody is always welcome to jump on whenever they feel they want to. Whenever we do a convo with the Mano, and door is always open. I know everybody in in our community won't spurg out, so that's cool. That's the only thing I'll stop is spurging. I think we've had enough. I've had enough of spurgathons. I think I'm going to wrap it up. We have a busy day tomorrow. We're leaving midday, and we have a busy week as usual. I'll try to keep you guys posted throughout this week. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I probably won't be doing a stream because I'll be in PV, but who knows? Who knows? I won't be bringing my mixing board and all that stuff, but who knows? Maybe we'll do a pop-up. Jamie Henshaw, Jay Dyer's wife. Awesome interview with her. I did a little while back before we left for Texas. I will be editing that sometime midweek and probably trying to drop it Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to do my best to get it ready for then. Let's see. There'll be some clips being dropped this week. I tried something different with both the Cypriot interview I did and Father Turbo, where I did less of a intro trailer and just kept it more of the content. I'm going to put out some of those clips this week. If you have anything that you want to add to the zine is like a paper form of SOS and the Board No More concept and idea. It is community built, community driven. We're going to probably look at getting physical copies. We're probably going to see if we could talk about that this week. Let's see, merch. Soon. We'll be getting some merch out soon. So I know a few people out there have made some like references to like really interesting sounding shirts, like little taglines. I've said whether Tatiana's mentioned a few, Denise has mentioned a few things like the Jiggy Jags and stuff like that. So good, things like that. If you have any of those ideas, send them. Join the Facebook group that we just started. Let's see. Are you all accepting articles? Still accepting articles? Yes, we're still accepting articles, artwork, recipes, pictures, opinion pieces, even if it's 3 sentences. Let's see. Anything you could think of, really. It's yours as much as it is ours. All of the submissions we got last time, we accepted all of them. We didn't decline any. We did maybe say for a couple people, maybe change a little bit of this, change a little bit of that. It's not because we accept everything. It's just that everything that everyone sent us was awesome. Unless it's totally like crazy and random, we probably wouldn't say no to it. We might just say maybe change this or that. It could be anything. Even if you think of something that we haven't thought of, movie reviews, book reviews, a book you've written. I know Orthodox Boomer Grandma wrote a book. Let's talk about it. Anything you could think of, man. Anything you could think of. Send it our way. We're going to try to get a physical copy out. It's a bit weird being in Mexico and trying to do that because we're trying to get it has to be within the US. It's much easier. That if you see any clip-worthy comments or things that we've done in the past or future or present, let us know what that is. That's a big help. Things like that. Let's see. Am I missing anything else? And then we're going to definitely, most likely we're going to do SOS radio on Sunday. If we don't do SOS radio, if we do take another week, we'll be doing something like this, dropping Jamie, that episode. Then I'm going to start booking more stuff soon. I took a minute because I had to finish a lot of edits. Board No More. February 9th. I'm going to confirm it with everyone. November 9th. Why do I keep saying February? November 9th. We're doing a Board No More. Orthodox Family Life Christina. Mr. Westford. Buck Johnson. And Ortho Radio. SOS. Ortho Radio. All right. My dear friends. From the bottom of my heart. Well, I love you. Have a great week. Send me messages if I owe you a phone call. Send me messages if I'm so there's 30 people for sure I owe phone calls to. And I'm so behind trying to catch up. This week's going to be my catch up week. So if I owe you a phone call, and by what I mean owe you a phone call, I've said I want to. That means I want to. So don't feel weird. Send me a message. Be like, hey, dude, you have any time this week? Simple as that. Have an amazing day, my dear friends. We'll catch you real soon. God bless you. Take care of each other. Bye.